It. Whew. Oh my Lord. Woo. It's Dave, and today I'm going to tell you about a kayak fishing adventure that I had recently. I am going coastal to the Indian River Lagoon, which isn't that far from me. My target species is snook. However, I've got something to contend with. I live in Florida, and it is HOTTTTTTT hot here and humid, with the feel-like temperatures approaching 106 a days. The water temperature is running around 90. Makes for very, very challenging, tough fishing conditions. So I need to pick my days wisely. I need to plan, and I need to be very intentional about my trip. What do I mean by that? Well, I need 3 conditions to exist, maybe a 4th. Number 1, I need tide, I need wind, I need structure, and the 4th, which is a bonus, to be cloud cover, which would be nice to have. So why do I need these 3 things? Before I explain them all, you need to know when the water heats up, the oxygen depletes. Therefore, fish really shut down. They're going to look for a spot that's a bit cooler, usually it's deep, and they're not going to expend any type of energy. The same is true for bass. So some of these techniques are applicable for the bass fishery as well. So why do I need the tide, the wind, and structure? I'll tell you. When you have structure, and by structure I mean I'm referring to a shoreline, rocks, a sandbar, an old ship, an abandoned ship rather, something where the water will hit up against. And what's driving that water? Tide and wind. So I analyze a tide chart and make sure I have an incoming tide. That's what I have found works best for fishing inside the inlet or inshore of an inlet. And I need wind in the same general direction. Now, that wind needs to be under 10 knots. That's my ceiling. So what happens when wind and tide are running together? Water is being pushed against structure, creating a ripple, creating splash, and that ripple and that splash is oxygenating, couldn't get that one out, the water. It's putting oxygen back in the water, enough so that the snook will come up. It's actually cooling the water off as well. So the snook and the bass will come up and start feeding up at that time. However, they are not chasing bait like they do in the fall or the springtime. They're still in the slow mode, if you will. So you have to be pretty methodical in your approach, in your casting, and work a spot really slow and really tight. So you work a spot slow and then kind of move on till you find them. Once again, they're not going to be moving all over the place. That's for the fall and the spring. So if you follow these guidelines, if you will, you'll have a successful day. Otherwise, you're going to be going out, and like me years ago, you're going to be sweating your balls off because it feels like the sun is right over your head. It's hot and humid and nothing is happening. So don't waste your time. Stay home, watch videos on this channel, and plan your days accordingly. You're not going to be able to fish every day. But when those 3 factors or those 3 conditions come to play or come together, I will circle the calendar, circle the time, and get out there and fish. I had mentioned I look for an incoming tide when fishing inside an inlet. Now for inlet fishing, which I don't do in a kayak, I will fish an inlet from the jetty. However, I'm not a big fan of fishing shoulder to shoulder, so I seldom do that. I'd rather be in a kayak. But the inlet here, Sebastian Inlet, is treacherous. It's a small, narrow inlet, and all that water gets pushed into this narrow way, and it just creates like the roaring rapids at times. Very dangerous. It's even for seasoned captains, they go in and out. It's pucker time. I've taken a boat in and out of there, and believe me, it's treacherous. But anyway, another subject for another video. What I believe happens is when the tide is heading out the inlet, the snook come up, get in there, and their nose into the inlet, and it's like a moving buffet. They're just bait and crabs and other crustacean coming at them, and they're picking away. The dinner bell rings, and off they go to the races. Once that tide dies down, I believe they move back into the river, back into their other spots. So that's why I prefer fishing the inbound, or the tide as it comes in to the river. So there you have it. Plan your day. Now, as part of this video, I've got video footage of me on the water hooking into a nice snook. So that's coming up in a few seconds here. And then part 3, really, I'm coming back and showing you how I rigged up for that day. So I'll go over my tackle, and I will discuss a second factor that you need to consider for fishing snook during the summer here in Florida. So let's go to the video where you see me hook up, and then I'll be back. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh. Ooh. Big snook on. Big snook on. Ooh. Big snook on. Ooh. Big snook. Big snook. Try to keep up with him. Paddling backwards. Keep him in front of me. Woo! Nice snook. Gotta land him now. Gotta land him. So he's a beaut. He's a beauty. He is a beauty. He is a beauty. See, we can get the net and land him. You tired out, kid? You tired out, kid? Whew. Oh my Lord. Woo-wee. Check him out. He's nice. Nice snook. Wow, right in the corner of the mouth. Get that away. Oh my God, look at him. Woo. He is. Beautiful, beautiful snook. I think he's 20, I'm close to 28. I'm not gonna measure him, I'll let him go. I'm mad he can't keep him. Yep. He would have been a keeper. I'm back, and I hope you enjoyed the footage of me hooking into that snook. It was a really, really good day. But that window of opportunity is short. So you need those factors, the wind, tide, and the structure to be in place. Typically, that means you're going to have 2-3 hour, maybe a little longer window. So plan accordingly. As I said earlier, be very, very intentional. What I didn't mention earlier is that the snook are also spawning during the summer. That means they're going to kind of lay low. Once again, they're not going to expend a lot of energy. So they're for the most of the time, they're going to find deep holes or deep places to sit, and they'll move up once conditions change, once that water movement. So be mindful of that. So here, let's talk about my setup. I'm using, or that day, I used an Inshore Extreme. This is offshore angler product. This is put out by Bass Pro. Not my very first choice of rod. It was available that day. I had it rigged up, and I took it with me. I set this up, or I put on a Stratic, a Shimano Stratic 4000 reel. That is has 25-pound braid. I know it's a little light for snook, but I'm fishing a sandbar. There isn't a whole lot of sharp objects around, so I felt pretty safe. I did put on a 30-pound leader, again a little light, but I put a that day I put a tippet on of 40 pounds. So it's just a small piece of leader here. It's not this setup here, but had a small piece of leader about 6 to 8 inches, and that just helps the line from getting frayed from the mouth of the snook, as it is very abrasive and it can shaft the line there. So that's why I like using that tippet from time to time. At the terminal end, I use a bass setup. That's what I do. It's successful for me. It works. Hey, so what I take is I use a bullet weight right here. I peg that. I use the pegs, which you can buy anywhere, Walmart. They all sell them. I Everything's rigged up to a 3-odd extra wide gap hook, typically used for bass fishing, and my lure is a Salt Strong Fred, which is a 4-inch paddle tail in white or the pink. They both work really well. I just need to find out what's going to work better that day. So that's my setup. As you saw, I did catch 2 nice snook that day. The first one's not on the video because one of the cameras, my GoPros, just failed on me again. But I was fortunate enough to have the other camera going, so that's the footage that you saw. So anyway, there you have it. If you have any questions, comments on what you saw, please list those down. Be happy to have that discussion with you and share your thoughts. If you have other thoughts about summertime snook fishing, please share it with everyone. We would really, really appreciate it. In the meanwhile, you get out there and fish. Be sure to stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Drink the Gatorade. Get those electrolytes in you. Be safe, and God bless you.